light so that when you make your debut on video that we can see you.
Okay, I'll change location.
No, I'm just teasing you. It's okay. I mean, we can see you. There's just a shadow on your face. I can see the outline of your glasses, but I'm just teasing you. It's okay. I know it's you.
Sure.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
Okay, let's get started. I was waiting for Eric. Oh, Eric's on now. Okay, so I know we always kind of challenge on this, but let's do roll call first, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. So I do see Leroy.
Yes, I'm
Mary.
here.
Okay, yeah. Mary. Steve. Ike.
Yes, I'm here.
Bill. Hey, Bill.
Yes.
Frank.
Yes, ma'am.
Bob.
Here.
And I see Eric joined, so we'll get started. So let's try again to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey.
We're getting better.
We're getting better.
We are. We just need a flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the package
Deb,
yes.
Deb, can we have a moment of silence for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I know Mary would appreciate that.
Chief Stanley's not here today. He's in mourning, but I just want you to know that, every squirrel has to get a nut sometimes.
Yeah.
When you've been hanging in the bottom of the barrel so long, like Cleveland, you can only go up.
Yep, exactly.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought he was going to say.
That was a good one, Bob.
Thank you.
Cried all my tears.
So in the package that was sent out, there's a copy of the meeting minutes from December. Do I have any comments on the meeting minutes before we? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, approval of the minutes. I don't see anybody on the call from the public, but I could be wrong, but I don't think there'll be any public comments. Okay, so Chief's report.
Okay. So first, I sent out the copy of the ethics form that must be filled out for the state for all of the commissioners. It's just an exercise, but it is mandatory. When they sent me the list of commissioners, I had to make a few corrections and I sent them back today. But I did send the form to all of the current and active commissioners for them to fill out. So since we didn't get to have a Christmas party and we didn't get to acknowledge some of our firefighters for Employees of the Year, I did want to acknowledge one of our employees tonight that's here, Outstanding Support Staff of the Year, which is Alyssa Willis. She'll be this particular award is recipient is an asset to the district's mission, and she has demonstrated a genuine commitment and dedication to the fire district. She works very diligently in trying to negotiate more fair prices and contracts with our daily vendors. So currently, as you may or may not know, she's taken on a lot of the work that Suchitra normally would do. as well as Valerie and Shawty, so that we can maintain while we're looking for the controller, and she has also threw her hat in the ring for that position. So Alyssa, I want to say thank you very much. And I just wanted to show this to you. Thank you very much.
We can do that after.
Yes. And
We can do that after.
you want to take a picture of the room?
We'll do
We
it
can
tomorrow morning.
do it after the meeting.
So I wish this could be nicer and more formal, but I did not want to go a whole another year without recognizing my staff, at least a little bit. So I just want to thank you, Alyssa, for all your hard work this year. And you will get your bonus check on Friday.
All right.
You're welcome, and I appreciate your service for sure. Okay.
We're here, so.
Okay, so, moving on, I did want to, we talked a little bit about, Steve Manti and his work with the Stuff a Truck this year, and I just want to say this because I recognize particularly that during this COVID, we were getting a very large amount of donations, which we are really thankful for, because it allowed us to be able to serve more people at St. John's. And monetary donations were higher than usual also. So as far as the monetary donations, we received over $6,000 in monetary donations in order to buy toys for the kids. And then in donated toys, there was probably over 750 toys. The old training building over on Maybank was full of toys. So with the money, and then we also had donations from, what's the name of that new food store? It's not-
Food line.
Food-
TJ's.
BJ's?
Or KJ.
KJ's donated dinner for the families that we supported with the toys.
Yeah, and just, I know I'm in the background here, it's Chief Ryan. Keel Island Club, the club is donating meals that will be delivered on Friday, barbecue meals as well. They wanted to do something after the fact.
To the family,
So,
for the families?
Yep.
That's really nice.
Yep, just found out today.
But I just want to say, I mean, it was amazing. They reached out to 11 families, a total of 29 children. 11 families received a $500 gift card to Food Line also, which doesn't allow them to buy alcohol or tobacco. So if anybody worries about where their donation's going, just wanted to make that clear. We were also able to allow 3 local churches to come shopping at Santa's Workshop for families in need at their parishes. And St. Paul's Fire Department came by and they filled their pickup truck with toys to provide for some of the families in their community. And they're a much more rural community, have much more rural property than we do. So I'll tell you what, it was a really big deal. And I'm thankful for the generosity of our constituents and the commissioners and Donald Howe. And, I mean, really, it made Christmas nice for a lot of families this year. So I wanted to say thank you for that. Monday is Martin Luther King Day, a week from today, so the office will be closed. I sent an email about the trip to Somerville to Spartan Fire Apparatus. That will be tomorrow. For those of you that want to see their maintenance facility, I think it'll be a nice trip. Now, I think Gavin and Rob have been discussing this back and forth with Spartan. But what they shared with us basically was their plans for the maintenance facility that they just put up. It looks like something that would be more along the lines of what we may need. So I'll be curious to see all the ins and outs of it tomorrow when we get the opportunity. I also wanted to let you know that I started out being the vice president of the Charleston County Fire Chiefs this year, and now I am president because the one who was president has retired. So I guess unknowing he was the fire chief of Allendale.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
yeah,
Oh,
thank
yes,
you.
yes,
Thank you, you guys. All right.
Yeah, Colony Post.
So, yeah, no comment. So I'm gonna send you to Gavin, give you our stats for the month.
How's everybody doing? That's Alyssa. I'm over here. How's it going? In the month of December, St. John's answered a call 278 times. Johns Island accounted for 177. Waterloo had 18. Kiowa had 52, and Seabrook was 31. And I talked with Chief Walls, and we're getting our end of the year numbers for last year together and getting all that scrubbed up. So it'll be ready for the February meeting.
Also, I just want to give you an update, a little bit of the active situation that's going on in Seabrook right now. It's male holed up in his home, and police, EMS, and fire are all on the scene at this time. It's been going on for several hours. So I informed Deborah because it was on her island, Seabrook. I think the SWAT truck ended up going down there too.
Yeah, SWAT came too. Yeah, and it's actually right down the road from where I live. So I'm glad you let me know because we've been avoiding that end of the road. So
Right.
You're right, it's been going on all day.
Right. Okay.
So on that note, because it made me think about this, I know he hasn't shot any guns yet. First he had a machete, then he started a fire. Now he's barricaded in his house. Did we pass out all of the bulletproof vests to all the firefighters that they have it as part of their equipment whenever they go out on a call?
Yes, ma'am. All of that's out and been out. And in fact, on our training calendar for 2021 will be refresher training for those who have been here and entry-level training for those who have not been here and proper use of the vest. But speaking of which, I just received an email right before I come in here, basically situational awareness for potentially what we might be going through during the inauguration and what the chatter, because St. John's is a member of the hub with Charleston County Emergency Management Center. And they let us know when there's unusual discussion and talk behind the scenes on social media sites, those that still exist. Who knows? But it's a never-ending battle. But they do suspect that a lot of the larger cities in the metros that there will be some activity, and so we'll give all of our personnel a heads up in case we have to worry about anything on Johns Island, or if we are called to assist any of our partners in that regard. So, these are crazy times. The pandemic wasn't enough, I guess. So now we're here. So, but that's a good question, Deborah. And yeah, we got our finger on the pulse of it, but how do you ever really know, Ryan, I know that Steve has still been really busy. So you want to turn it around?
Hey, happy Monday, everybody. I will be brief since we already talked about Stuff a Truck, and I would just want to echo Chief Walls' comments on that and the success of that program. And we appreciate the support of our constituents and the fire district as well. So for the month of December, Captain Manti mostly installed 45 smoke alarms and also checked one car seat. And some of those things we've been doing virtually as well, some consulting. So happy Monday.
So question for Ryan or for the chief. I know Kiowa passed a short-term rental ordinance, and now Seabrook also, effective January 1st, passed a short-term rental ordinance. And part of the ordinance for Seabrook is safety equipment. And the chief and I had briefly discussed about maybe putting together guidelines, for the owners of the rental property to follow to make sure they have the right, fire extinguisher, et cetera. But I wondered, are your calls increasing because of these ordinance passing that a lot of rental properties are starting to reach out, or no?
Not specifically. I actually discussed that with Captain Manti because sometimes a lot of those things get either sent to him or myself. And I haven't heard from Captain Manti, and I haven't fielded any specific calls in related to Seabrook and the short-term rental. So not yet, but that may change in the future as well. So, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, I have an owner of one of the large rental companies here on Seabrook. I think she manages about 150 properties, And she was the one that reached out to me and said, can we, you know, put something together? She did say to the owners, you have to buy your own equipment as far as smoke detectors, fire extinguishers. And I think they're also, I sent the ordinance to the chief, but I think they're also required for a carbon dioxide reader. And so we would be looking to you to either help us make sure they get the right equipment and possibly, you know, some installations. So I just wanted to forewarn you. So I told her we'd get back to her, but in the meantime, you know, they have the copy of the ordinance that they can follow.
Right. We haven't seen anything that specifically, now I know Captain Manti gets a lot of phone calls each day. Specifically, what we're seeing is homes on Seabrook that have interconnected smoke alarms that are now becoming over 10 years old, and they're starting to fail and beep and chirp and everything. So he's been working a lot on that to get homeowners specifically what they need.
Does that answer your question, Dan?
Yes, thank you. I know this owner of the rental company, she'll keep on hounding me a little bit. So if we can get back to her before the end of the month. So I didn't want to give her your contact information directly. I thought she could pester me in the meantime. Steve, did you say something or did somebody say something? No, okay.
Okay, last is, we did put out a advertisement today for active firefighters with experience. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I guess we still have 7 openings.
Well, I think we have 8 now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So financial report, we had our finance meeting last Thursday and we went over all the reports. So I didn't know if tonight we need to repeat it. Mary, if you have any questions, I could answer your questions because you were the only one that wasn't in the meeting. But I think instead of going over the details, unless you guys want us to go back over them again, I was more going to open it up. Is there any questions about the December financial reports? I mean, basically we're under budget. The actuals, you know, are less than budget. So that's a big plus. And cash flow, you know, we're in good shape. Overtime is low compared to, you know, what it has been in the past. So are there any questions or any discussion items that you'd like to discuss? And with Lisa being here, you know, she may be able to help us with any of your questions.
Well accepted.
Chief Barbara, any talk about reimbursing the first responders for the extra cost of functioning through the pandemic?
You know, it's interesting you say that. Obviously, we gave them the Christmas bonus. You guys gave them the Christmas bonus. But as far as we didn't receive any CARES Act money, which we had hoped, we didn't receive a dime. They potentially said we could receive $7,000, but that was like 1/10 of what we had requested as far as reimbursement goes. Currently, and according to Charleston County, they have not received reimbursement either, but the city of Charleston. But my understanding is a lot of the money went to the larger cities. So right now, I am cautious about what we do. Just heading into 2021 with so much uncertainty. If there is money that can be spared, I would be more than glad to do that. But right now, I don't know if we should be anything but conservative, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Now, in the finance meeting, and it's kind of related, in the finance meeting, we talked about trying to encourage the firefighters and the administrative staff in getting both of the vaccines. And we talked about anywhere from a $50 to $100 gift certificate or gift card, or it would actually technically it would be added to their paycheck because we'd gross it up a little bit. that we would pay once they brought their card in to Valerie and proved that they had gotten their second vaccine.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you want to discuss that in more detail in the executive committee meeting, but we talked about, the possibility of considering that. And Chief, I think you were going to communicate something to the firefighters.
Yes, I wanted to do that before Friday, which the governor has given the cutoff date. The first responders have to at least make their first appointment. But we also have been made aware of another avenue that first responders can get their vaccinations, because currently we were advised it was only at MUSC, and now we're finding that potentially another large hospital in the area is offering it to first responders also. So we're going to put that information out tomorrow. And then based on what you guys say tonight, I can add the bonus potentially of, if you bring your card with your second shot proof to Valerie, then you would be eligible for, that bonus.
Okay, and we can talk about it in more detail during the executive committee meeting. Just an FYI, if you guys haven't heard, the governor and I guess some of the state legislatures announced, and Post and Courier is now sending out information, that they're approving anyone 70 years old. It's changed now from 75 to 70 years old and older, that now you're approved for a vaccine. And Wednesday, we're going to get more detailed instructions on how to sign up for anyone that's 70 and older, to get this vaccine. So they feel that, the medical community, first responders, nursing homes, that they're making headway on whoever wants the vaccine. And so I don't know if you make an appointment on Wednesday, how soon that may happen. It still may not happen until February, but at least they're opening up the appointments that they're going to that next phase, which I think is 1B. Yes.
I made mine last night, and it's the 21st of January, so it's pretty quick.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Now, did you go out to MUSC site directly?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And so basically you have to take your driver's license or something, proof of, what your age is.
Correct.
I think we're all residents of South Carolina. I do have some neighbors that are part-time residents. So if you know anybody that lives here part-time, what I'm saying to them is they need to take a utility bill or their real estate tax receipt to prove that they own property in South Carolina and they are a part-time resident, in addition to taking their driver's license. So that's what I'm suggesting here in this community. So I'm glad to hear that it's that soon, because my husband qualifies, and with his heart situation, I definitely wanted to get him lined up. Thank you, Bob. Okay, attorney's update.
Well, I guess I'll do this portion in public, and we'll do details in the executive session. As you know, we've gotten a letter from Howell, and Howell demanding payment to the end of the contract. There is some dispute about what we might owe. And since the last meeting, we have gotten our lawyers from Clement Rivers, formerly Young Clement Rivers, it's now Clement Rivers. Ed Buckley's been out to the site with Bill as of last Thursday. I had a nice conversation with Ed. And basically, we're in the process of evaluating how many late days we should perhaps concede, and then what some of these other issues are about, faulty construction, things that weren't finished, and that kind of stuff. I'll go over the details, but for the public portion, there's a dispute. We're in the process of analyzing what we think is fair. Steve Coe is preparing a report, and that will be a continuing matter. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Is there any old business to discuss? Any new business to discuss? Okay, committee reports. Bill, Building Committee.
Okay, Station 4 is about 65% complete now, and of course, still on schedule. The bifold doors are installed, and the overhead doors and the coil springs are stored on site. Sprinkler systems are being installed now. The generator has been installed. HVAC, plumbing, and electrical work continues as it has for some time. And all the interior stud walls are up, and the second stairwell has been installed. Station 6, we've still got the same ongoing things, and we can talk more about that in executive session. And I'll give you more details on the meeting at the site on Thursday. That's it.
Okay. Finance Committee, as I mentioned before, we met on January 7th, last Thursday. We went over the December financial reports and the financial dashboard. I went through the December financial reports line by line, and there was nothing that really jumped out at me that it was, out of alignment that we should be concerned about. There are some expenses that are below, we should be at 50% at this point because we're 6 months through our fiscal year. There were some line items that were below 50%, but then there were other line items that, we still had above 50%. I think most of the ones that are below 50% are explainable because of the timing of when the payments were, et cetera. So there was nothing that really, jumped out at me. But Lisa, is there anything when you look at the financial reports or anything you'd like to point out to us?
Yeah.
As of right now, I think everything's, like you said, on schedule. I know that there's some items like the uniform budget has more than anticipated left, but that's just because we haven't been hiring because of COVID. I spoke to Whaley. We're getting ready to purchase a good portion of protective clothing here in the next month or two, so that you'll see reflected in the upcoming months. But other than that, I think we're on schedule for everything.
Do you have any idea where we're at, or does the chief have any idea where we're at on the mid-year review that I think is due at least by the end of the month to the county, if not before?
When Sue and I met, I know that Chief Sue and I went over the mid-year review, and I thought it was submitted, but I can double check on that.
Didn't she say
So she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did send me the operating, mid-year review, and I told her it looked good and I didn't have any questions. But I thought there was a component relating to our bonds that has to be completed. Is that not the case?
The Emma report, you mean?
I'm sorry, what?
The Emma report?
Oh, that might be what it's called. I just figure they want to know a status on our bonds, although they're intimately involved in the payouts. But
currently, she has an email out to Charleston County, in addition to our bond attorneys and in connection with Mac Guile, in order to collaborate all of that information. And that's supposed to be to me by Wednesday.
Okay, good.
I do know that the inquiries were made because she CC'd me on the inquiries.
Okay. And then I have additional bond information that I'll share in the executive session that has been some updates. Okay. Steve, I know you haven't had a human resource committee meeting, but is there anything that you'd like to?
No, we have had nothing to discuss.
Okay. Eric, on the strategic planning, is there anything you'd like to comment on other than the trip tomorrow?
We had a brief meeting to discuss 825 Main Road, and I think we've kind of come to two conclusions. I think Bill's going to contact the engineer that was involved in the construction of that building, see if there's any viable use of the building that's there. And we're also going to take a trip to Spartan Equipment in Somerville to take a look at their maintenance facility, and we may schedule some other maintenance facility trips also. Other than that, I believe that's all we covered.
And I just to let Deb,
go ahead, Bill.
Just to let you know, Eric, I have tried to contact that engineer twice now. And so far, he has not returned my call. And actually talked to his secretary this morning, and she said she would get a note to him, but I've not, so far I haven't received a call back. I'll keep trying.
Yeah, and I mentioned to Eric that we'll probably, after the trip to Somerville, and he also mentioned a North Charleston maintenance building, I think then we need to regroup for another strategic planning meeting, sooner versus later, at least by the beginning of February, because we want to come up with, what do we want to accomplish in 2021, and our bond issues are going. The closing is February 25th, so we will have that $250,000 that we have earmarked in our bond issue that would be available for architects, engineers, redoing water, septic, electric, whatever we decide. But I think we have different scenarios that are available to us. It's, do we do anything with the existing building? Do we point that money towards a new building? And if we do that, what are we doing with the existing building? So we have a lot to discuss, but I really think it's helpful if we go out, especially tomorrow, and look at this new maintenance building so that we all have a better visual and a better understanding of, what the needs are. And then we can go from there on, what are our different options and start to get some estimates. So I think that, $250,000, can be used for us to hire the appropriate professionals and to help us move in the right direction. So just to clarify that. Okay. Any public or firefighter comments? Okay. Commissioner comments. Leroy? You're on mute, Leroy. I think it should be at the bottom. There you go.
Yep, I got it. I knew exactly where it was. Just couldn't get my fingers to work. Want to say Happy New Year to all of you. Glad to be able to speak to all of you. Please, please, please stay safe. This virus seems to not want to go away. So if you are able to get one of these vaccinations, please do. If not, please wear your mask, do your social distancing, and do like I do. I stay home most days now. There's a lot more stuff to do in the yard than I thought. Thank you.
Mary?
Okay. Can you guys hear me out there? Because I'm back in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say Happy New Year's to each and every one of you. It's so good seeing your smiling faces again. Hope and pray that we all continue to have a safe New Year's. And Chief, I just love that blue warm sweater that you're wearing. Love you guys.
Bill?
Yes. Congratulations to Alyssa for the Outstanding Support Staff Trophy or award rather. And also congratulations to the Chief for becoming president of the Charleston County Fire Chiefs Association.
Steve?
Congratulations to both, as Bill said. Thank you, firefighters, for everything that you do. And most importantly, please stay safe.
Bob?
I'd just like to congratulate all the firefighters who were acknowledged in January for their outstanding work over the year. Second, that I know the staff worked really hard on Stuff the Truck program, and kudos to you. Most of all, stay safe. And if you have the opportunity to get the vaccine, please do as soon as possible. And Happy New Year to you all.
Harry?
Just like to say ditto everything that's been said before, and just take time to think about our country and what's going on in the world today. I think we're kind of at a critical crossroads for our country. Just say a prayer for it. Thank you.
Ike? Ike, if you're talking, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I'd like to say congratulations to Chief and also to Alyssa and the supporting staff that stepped in and taking over the, helping with the controller job. I also like to say thank you to each and every employee in the department for what they are doing, each and every day taking care of districts and all the islands. And also I'd like to say to all of the businesses that help with the food giving, QR, Food Line, all of them, that's very exceptional. We also had enough stuff to share with the St. Paul district. And it makes me feel good that we're reaching out, helping all surrounding areas, just not our area here, but whomever we can help. And that's really good to hear that. That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Frank?
Alyssa, congratulations. Echo what Captain White just said. Thank you, Alyssa, for all your hard work. Congratulations on the Administrative Service Award, and thank you for everybody who's been stepping up to fill in for Suchitra. Thank you for everybody's hard work. Chief Knitzer and Captain Manti, thank you guys very much for all the hard work with Step-A Truck, and thank you to Food Line, KJ's, Kiowa for all the community support with such an important program this time of year. And Chief Waltz, congratulations on the appointment of Chair of the Low Country Firefighters Association. Thank you for all your hard work representing our district and the entire Low Country with the Fire Chiefs Association support. Thank you. And just want to wish everybody a safe and healthy new year. Hope everybody has a good 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to say Happy New Year, but the beginning of this year isn't turning out very well. So I feel like we still have, a lot of black clouds hanging over us for various reasons. So I can only hope that it'll improve. And I pray that on the day of inauguration or even before that, that the violence that they're talking about, doesn't come to be in, all 50 states. So it's very concerning. We can take note that our fire district, we can be proud of the chief and, outside the district, the accomplishments that she's made, including moving into the president's position. And Elisa, to get the employee award and all the extra work you're doing with the controller's position being open, that is appreciated and noticed. And I appreciate all the commissioners and all the extra work that you do and the extra time that you take, outside of just the commission and the committee meetings. So, we have a little bit of a road trip tomorrow, so some of us will be able to see, this building firsthand and work closely on the plans for the future. So thank you. Anything we missed before we adjourn to executive session? Okay, then I make a motion to adjourn to executive session. We're going to discuss Station 6 issues, personnel issues, and we're also going to discuss more details about the 2021 bond issue. Are there any other topics that we should note? Okay,
we can talk a little bit.
What's that?
We can talk a little bit about Station 6, or did you say that?
Yeah, she said that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. It's good to keep an eye on me,
I did not receive an email to call in stuff. So is it the same number as your usual conference call number?
Yes, and I apologize. I didn't piggyback. So if you haven't noticed, when we do our Zoom meetings, St. John's Fire District has the same meeting ID and the same passcode. And if you call in, which I do because my audio on my computer's not good, It's the same telephone number to call in, so it doesn't change from one meeting to the next.